Today I'm here to review The Walking Dead Season 4, Episode 10, titled Inmate. So let's get started. Now this episode right here was very dark and it had a very dark tone to it. So I'm going to tell you, I did have a complaint about this episode, but I'm going to get to that in a few minutes. But in this episode, it's revealed that we had 3 deaths that was off screen. And the reason why I say this episode was so dark because within this episode, we lost 2 children within this episode. And the first child was Luke. Now, Luke was one of those children that we've never really seen on screen, but we seen him every once in a while. And for some of you who don't remember him, Luke was Caucasian. He was a child, of course, and he had blonde curly hair. Now, when they zoomed in on that, because it was a black shoe, because with that scene where we seen Beth and Daryl on a railroad track, we can see zombies eating somebody, and we can see a black shoe next to the railroad itself. And they zoomed in on it, and that shoe was for Luke. And it's revealed that Luke and Molly got killed in this episode. I mean, it was so bad, the zombies devoured them. Wasn't nothing left. The only thing they had left of those 2 children was their insides. That was dark. Next, it's revealed by Tara that Lily died in this episode. Lily was the one who killed the governor. Lily was the one who had the daughter and stuff. Well, yeah, she actually died. After Lily killed the governor, she was in a prison courtyard. Now, you know that the gates got torn down by the governor. So those zombies was able, that was the first thing they was able to, they had to go through was the prison courtyard. And she was in that prison courtyard. So therefore the zombies surrounded Lily and they end up killing her, eating her alive. So yeah. Next, my complaint about this episode was definitely the bus scene. Now remember, also we had 3 plots going on at the same time. I had a complaint about them because it was hard for me to process all of that going on at once. So that was another complaint. But the bus scene, what really had me, I wasn't complaining, but the writing wasn't consistent with that scene because okay. We seen Sasha, we see Maggie, and we see Bob go to the bus. And at this point, it's revealed that Maggie is looking for Glenn, and she wanted some closure because I don't think she think Glenn was dead, but she definitely went to that bus. And when she seen that bus, she was scared. I mean, she was scared. She was frightened. She was hoping Glenn wasn't dead. But then again, she still wanted to go to the bus to get some closure, to find out if he was dead so she could end it. Like I say, it was all about closure for her. But it's revealed to her that Glenn wasn't dead, that he's still out there somewhere, or at least he's not in that bus to her. And the problem with the bus scene is, you mean to tell me everybody died in that bus at the same time? That is not, that didn't make no sense to me. Come on now. Everybody died in that bus at the same time. Now, at first I came up with 2 theories. I say one theory, well, maybe when they was leaving, the bus was leaving the prison, we did see the governor men shooting at the bus. So maybe some of the people in that bus got hit and they died. But I'm pretty sure everybody in that bus didn't get hit. Then I came up with theory 2. Or maybe we did have some elderly people in there, and maybe those elderly people died because they didn't have no assistance from the people from the group members from the prison, because the prison got overran and that everybody went their own separate ways. So maybe the elderly people died on the road because, like I say, they didn't have that assistance. But in this episode, it's pretty much revealed, like I say, everybody did. So you mean to tell me you'll be sitting on the bus, living in a zombie apocalypse, and then once a human being died, they turn into a zombie. So you mean to tell me you'll be sitting on the bus and you'll see somebody dead, and they're going to turn you, and you will just sit there and just say, well, go ahead and bite me on my neck. That's why I'm saying that scene didn't make no sense to me. And don't give me that excuse saying, well, maybe they couldn't get out the bus. Maggie unlocked that bus with ease. I mean, she literally slid that back door open with ease. So those people could have got out that bus. And then again, I'm going to say this too. Not everybody on that bus was elderly. I mean, some of the people I've seen falling off the bus that were zombies look like they was in their, could be late 30s, early 40s. So I'm not saying everybody on that bus was elderly. I'm just saying it just don't make no. It just ain't sitting right with me. Everybody died at the same time. And what happened to the black woman that we seen getting on the bus? I can't even remember her name. Julie, I can't remember her name. I didn't even see her on the bus, so ain't no telling what she at. The elderly black woman that we seen. Next, let's talk about the Daryl and Beth scene. And this scene right here was probably, I would say it's one of my best scenes, but I definitely love the audio commentary that Beth had put in that they used from Beth, because the audio commentary contains some of the stuff that Beth was writing in her journal, in her diary, or her I can't get it out, or her journey, whatever. But yeah, it's revealed that Beth was reading everything that she had wrote down in a diary, and then the most important thing that she said when she was talking, when she was talking using her audio commentary, she said something very important to me. Well, it stuck out to me because I like Hershel, and Hershel is that moral compass. She says that her father gave her hope, and she said that my father told me, if we don't have hope, what's the point of living? And that right there is very important to me, because in this episode, I caught myself and I was looking at Daryl, and Daryl was questioning his hope and his faith. And that was very powerful to me, because these human beings are put in a dying civilization just to see how much their morality will melt here. And that right there was just awesome. And then we seen Beth, and we seen Daryl about to fight. And like I say, Beth still got that hope. Although Beth did kind of say in the beginning of season 4 that she don't cry no more because people die so fast. She tried her best not to get attached to them anymore. But you get, and I say this, I say that was a lie. And you can see how everything just built up in Beth, and she just bust out crying. She was like a pipe she was like a pipe with pressure ready to bust. And it just literally she just literally let it out after she found those 2 children dead. So we can see Daryl sitting by the fire, and that scene reminded me of the same scene that we seen the governor when he was sitting by the fire. And you can see how Daryl, he didn't have no hope in him. He didn't have no faith. He just looked at dead, and he felt like he lost everything. He don't have this motorcycle no more, and that motorcycle is symbolic to him, because that motorcycle is for Merle, and that's the last thing he had that belonged to Merle, that reminded him of Merle. That motorcycle was symbolic to Daryl. He don't got his motorcycle no more. Also, point 2, Daryl loved that prison. Him and Rick cherished that prison, because I remember when that flu broke out, and I remember when Rick was talking about he had thoughts about leaving. And I remember when Daryl was sitting right there, and Daryl, he looks at him and he tells Rick, he says, I can't remember, he says, what's good is worth fighting for. He says anything good is worth fighting for. He was talking about the prison, and he was the main person who chose to go out there and get that medicine. He was the main person when that prison was about to get attacked, and he had a feeling it was about to get attacked. What Daryl did? Daryl gave everybody guns. He snuck and gave everybody guns, because he loved that prison, because it kept them safe, and he know they didn't have to go out there and search for food anymore. It survived. And that right there was very important. I went hard on that. Point 3. Daryl loved Rick and the rest of the group, and he loves them as he loved his own blood family. Because I remember in season 3, episode 5, titled "This Sword for Life," when Rick was talking about going to go look for Merle after Merle had took Michonne, Daryl stops him. He says, no, don't go. He say, plus you can't track for shit. He says, stay here and wait for the governor just in case he attacks. And he says, and he gets to the door, and he's getting ready to leave out the door to go look for Merle. And he looks back at Rick and he says, your family too. Man, when he said it, that was deep, y'all. That was deep. So going on with this episode, we see Beth and Daryl going through the woods, and we can see on the log we see a cut up rabbit. And this right here didn't make that scene didn't make no sense to me either, because okay, I'm saying to myself, we have a cut up rabbit. Maybe that was some foreshadowing of something that happened to the rabbit. Besides Lindsay doing it, maybe something else happened to the rabbit, and then they kind of showed us some foreshadowing of what was going to happen later. But yeah, because we know Lindsay didn't kill that rabbit, because when Beth looked at the foot tracks in the mud, she says that it's probably Luke and Molly. And you can see how Daryl didn't have that hope, because he says he looks at the footsteps in the mud, and he says they came here 5 hours ago. He said they're probably I think he said they're probably dead now. And I never heard Daryl say nothing like that. And also, it's questionable about Daryl when it comes to fate now, because what he told Beth was completely out of his character. Yeah, I know Daryl from season one and season two would say something like that, but we got to see his character evolve so much, it just shocked us to hear him say that again. To say something mean like that, because he told Beth that pretty much fate isn't nothing. Fate didn't help your father when the governor killed him. And you can see how Beth kinda ignores him, but she heard what he said and she's angry about it. So that right there was amazing. I love that scene. Next, I talk about Tyrese, Lindsay, and Mecca and baby Judith. It's revealed in this episode that baby Judith is alive. So I'm so happy about that because in the comic book her fate wasn't that good. And we see them traveling through the woods with baby Judith. And at this point, Judith is crying and she's making a lot of noise. And I remember when Glenn said this in season 3 about what if we leave the prison. And he was saying about Hershel leg holding them back, and also we have a baby with us that's constantly crying, drowning in walkers. And even Lori said this about Judith, about if she is going to be drawn in walkers, because she's going to be constantly crying. I'm sorry. And like we say, we get to witness that, and we get to see Lindsay becoming a sociopath. I don't see Lindsay making it out of season 4. Lindsay is becoming a sociopath. That world has consumed that little girl. I mean, completely consumed her. She's the Billy 2.0. She's the Billy remix. Like Billy from the comic book, he became a sociopath and he was a child. Lindsay is becoming a sociopath. And we can definitely see signs of it, because we seen Lindsay killing 2 rabbits. Billy did the same thing in the comic book, but I'm gonna tell you the difference. In the comic book, Billy killed the cat. Billy, he literally had glass stuck in the cat while the cat was dead. And Dale seen it. Dale literally seen him pulling the glass out the cat. And Dale knew Billy wasn't right. And then he tells Ben, that's Billy's brother in the comic book, he tells Ben, don't tell Rick. Because Dale seen signs of Billy becoming a sociopath. And we definitely seen signs of Lindsay becoming a sociopath with that animal. Killing a rabbit. Also, the most important thing we seen, she was about to smother Judith. She was about to kill her. She was smothering this child to death. This little baby was about to die in this girl's hands. So Lindsay is becoming a sociopath. You cannot deny it. So and another thing I didn't like about that scene is how Tyrese left the baby with them. I applaud him for saving Judith. I applaud him. I loved it about Tyrese. Good man, good stuff. But don't leave Judith with them. First of all, but then I can't blame him, because he don't know that Lindsay was becoming a sociopath, but he do know that Mecca is very scary. So yeah, and also we meet Carol in this episode. A lot of people was complaining, oh, Carol, how she appeared like that. I mean, she pretty much said how she found out where they was at. She says that she was coming back to the prison and she seen Tyrese running, so she decided to follow him. Although she wasn't clear about his tracks afterward, but she said she still followed some of the path that she was able to follow to find Tyrese. So a lot of people talking about, oh, how was Carol able to find him like that? I mean, it's pretty obvious. She said, and like they misread wrote it or something like that. Next, in this scene we found out that Tyrese ends up finding some guys on a railroad track, just like Daryl and Beth did, but except these guys, and you expect these people to be able to defend themselves better than what they did, because like I said, they've been living in that type of world for a long time, but for some reason they didn't put up a good fight and they end up dying, and one guy ends up getting bit and this guy know it's over because he got bit on his shoulder, so he just gave up hope. There wasn't no reason for him to even try to live anymore. So you know what he did? He told them, he says, keep straight down on railroads and you'll find a sanctuary down there. And he says the place is safe and they'll take you in. And we can see how Tyrese finds it, and they find a sanctuary, and it was I forgot, but yeah, it was definitely a sanctuary. So it's unknown about the sanctuary. We don't know much about it yet, but hopefully we get some more details on it. Next scene, we see Glenn is left behind at the prison. Now, I'm pretty sure, like I say, that promo they showed of Glenn sitting on top of a big slab of Glenn laying on top of a building screaming Maggie with a whole bunch of zombies down there trying to eat him was probably I wouldn't say a metaphor, but I would probably say just a promo for itself to promote the series, if you get what I'm saying. It's just a promo, because you got all type of shows they have promo. They show promos for the show, but the promo don't actually be in the show. It's just a promo to promote the show itself. It's not actually in the actual show. So yeah, we seen him. It's revealed that he jumped out the bus to come back for Maggie, and we can see how he goes back into prison and he finds some liquor that Bob that liquor he found was for Bob. I think it's some Hennessy that Bob had took from I forgot, because I remember Daryl confronted him about it. I forgot where they went to, but Bob had that liquor, and you can tell that Bob been drinking the liquor because the liquor was low, and you can see how Glenn used that liquor as a cocktail or something to make a fire out of it. And he ends up finding Tara. Now at this point, Tara guilt is eating Tara alive because she felt that she was tricked, and she realized what they did was for nothing, and she realized she let the governor get in her head, as she called him Brian, as he called to, and she has a lot of guilt for what happened. You can tell this in this episode because she was just sitting right there while them zombies was literally outside of the gates trying to get her, and she didn't even care. And she felt like she lost everything herself. She even called herself a piece of shit. When you call yourself a piece of shit, then you know you just low down. So they end up leaving the prison, and we meet my boy Abraham Ford, and we meet Eugene, and we meet Rosita. They make their appearance at the end of this episode, and guys, I cannot wait for the next episode. Oh, I can't wait. And I always remember one of Abraham's famous quotes. Remember this. The thing about smart motherfuckers is sometimes they sound like hold on. The thing about smart motherfuckers is they sound like crazy motherfuckers to stupid motherfuckers. I hope you guys aren't a bunch of stupid motherfuckers. Abraham, man, that's my boy, man. Yeah, man. I hope y'all. Oh man, I can't. Oh man, boy, Abraham Ford is back, people. I love that quote. That's one of his favorite quotes from the comic book, here, people. Man, Abraham is back. We miss it, man. Welcome back, Abraham. Welcome back. But yeah, this right here was my review for The Walking Dead season 4, episode 10, titled titled Inmate. And also this episode pretty much sums up the inmate, pretty much gave us why this episode named is Inmate. Well, why this episode named is Inmate, because we seen a sign going towards the prison, and that sign says pretty much be careful because some inmates might escape or something like that. So they put a warning sign up about the inmates, and that's the reason why this episode name is Inmates. So yeah, this episode was good. I enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe, rate, comment, and shit. Fuck it. Thumbs up the video if you guys enjoyed it. Have a nice day.